what I'm asking you is, what happened to you as a child? Why did you bring this on yourself? One of the reasons I wanted to get you on the podcast is because, I think I last count was right around 150 tarantulas. I've gotten rid of some, and some of, mature males or just old age have died off and things like that. But I know how much time and effort I put into maintaining and feeding. And when I think about the breeders, like I know you guys catch a lot of flack. At least I see a lot of flack that's given to people that sell tarantulas, people accusing you all of like price gouging or charging way too much for a species. And I'm like, you got to take into consideration the amount of time and effort that they put in. And some of these species you guys are probably housing for months at a time before they sell. So, that's like constant feeding, watering, rehousing, all the stuff that you got. Like, there's a lot of work that I'm sure goes into it that, those of us that just are buying them aren't even aware of. So I kind of wanted to get like a peek behind the curtain a little bit and just know like what kind of work goes into this.
Man, to be honest, it's kind of crazy and like just nodding her head over off on the corner because like sometimes I feel like Linda Blair, man. Like it's a lot. It really is. Like I just designed a website. I'm not really familiar with technology, but just on a day-to-day basis, like we wake up, we have to take the first thing we do is like scan the room because like the heat and humidity is so crazy in here. You have to see what happens where and if somebody developed mold or an egg sac dropped or and then like feeding wise, like it's intense because you have to make sure like yeah, you have to realize like there's a lot of slings around here, but that's just one cup of 1,000 that are in tubs and on shelves and stuff. And you want to give each and every single animal the exact same adequate care that like they need, So like you can't skip one. Like it's not like a choice that you have like, oh, these animals didn't get fed today, so I'm gonna just go to bed because I'm tired and they can get fed later. Like, no, I don't have time that week to do it because like we have to ship out 40 packages this week and we have to make straws and cut paper towels and I have to talk to my customers. I was doing business like dealing with my customers on a one-on-one basis. I'm still going to continue doing that, but it's going to be every purchase is going to be through the website just to adhere to Facebook policies. Like it's more so time. I have to be honest, man. I deal with the people aspect more, and the information. Like Derek handles the animals, and like when he comes in here, usually him and Jess and Bubba are usually the ones that feed this stuff. Like I'm rarely involved unless Derek's like, oh my God, you got to check this out and see that it's molted. Like I have to take my time at 4 a.m. to come in here when they're out and like appreciate them for what they are. Like it's kind of crazy because it turned in from like, oh, I can work with these animals every single second of my time. Like to where I need like 5 employees to be able to like give everything an adequate care and like we don't just, I don't know, we care about them. We don't just, as you can tell from behind us, just put a piece of some cork bark and substrate in there. Like there is tubs of plants out in the area and like tubs of eco earth and stuff because man, I want them to feel comfortable while they're here. Like I love these things. Like I think a lot of people understand me when I say like a lot of the time people suck, but these guys don't. Like I love these creatures. I can always rely on them when the world has kind of let me down. Like there's a lot that goes into taking care of 2,000 of them, though. And as a business owner, I always have to realize like if for some reason it's just me, these are my responsibility. And it's a lot to have on their shoulders. And I don't know, a lot of people. Have used the term "you're a big name breeder" recently with me. That drives me crazy. I don't know what you all are talking about on that. Like, dude, I'm a passionate hobbyist, and like I do this because I love the hobby and I love these spiders. And like, there ain't no big name. There is no end glory to this. This is and has and always will be about the spiders. Like, a lot of people are doing a lot of dumb things for money recently, and like, you guys need to remember where you're. What it's always been about, and it's about being able to appreciate these and like being able to continue this on for the people later on in life who want the opportunity to too.
I feel you. Like I always had respect and admiration to breeders and dealers because I knew that there was probably a lot of work, but I don't think I fully realized just how much work it was. And this is just like a small example, but my scorpions started just having babies like crazy. And I had like 120 little baby scorpions, and I was sending off like 100 of them just to one. Like I just had to pack them up and send them to one place, and just having to feed them and water them, twice a week, and then package them all up and put them in a box and mail that. I was like, this is why I don't breed and deal tarantulas. This is a lot of work. I don't enjoy this.
A G man. So me and him. Okay, so we have definitely overcome the aspect of like people don't want to deal with pokies. They're like, how do you get that pokey in a straw? Well, after a while, you like 11 years in the hobby, you kind of get how animals are going to work and like how you can do stuff smart and respectably for the animal. But man, me and Derek can pack some spiders. We did a competition between me and Derek because he's a smack talker, man. He will smack talk any chance he gets. But he was like, let's rehouse 40 OBTs. I think they were actually going to Tanya. And he was like, you do 20, I'll do 20. I'm gonna beat you. So we did it like we had Jess be the ref and everything, and he's like, I'm gonna do it without a tub. I was like, big mistake. But I ended up beating him and everything. Like there's definitely a point where you feel comfortable with the spider and stuff, but dude, with 40 packages, sometimes those spiders or there's 20 spiders in that order, like it's a 12-hour process, and that's not even making boxes. I know like we have pre-made boxes, and even just taping those together, like not even making the foam is just like an hour. Like it's crazy how much time it takes to run a business and make sure it's done right.
I can only imagine. Now, you mentioned that you sent some OBTs to Tanya with Fear Not Tarantulas. How often does that kind of stuff happen? Like, how often, like you're breeding and selling tarantulas, you have a business. She's also breeding and selling tarantulas with her business. So, in you would think logically you guys are competitors, but how much back and forth, like you guys sell each other stock? Is that kind of how?
Yeah, but that's not. I don't know. There's a bigger goal in this, man. Like I think a lot of people think like us breeders are trying to take advantage of whatever. We actually work together. The reason a lot of people have the same stock right now is because we all sell and trade and everything. Like there's a. I try to get my stuff from private breeders. Like I like working with individuals. I like working with companies that do things right. So if they have extras and they're trying to, a lot of people don't have time to take care of that stuff. They don't have
Mm-hmm.
5 and 6 employees that can come help take care of their spiders. So sometimes it's easier for vendors just to wholesale off lots to people like me at a decent price. And then that's what I'm saying. There's an overhead to everything that people don't realize. Yeah, okay,
Yeah.
you can import spiders for whatever cost. Yeah, you can say that like, okay, you're getting, let's say, a geniculata at $10 on import cost. You don't also consider there's import fees involved in that. There's also the time that it's going to take that person is going to be sitting on 100 of them that they're going to be feeding and watering, raising. Then the time to like distribute and market those. Then the people that it's going to take when they get here to be fed. Like there is a overhead to running a business with 2,000 spiders. That's unbelievable. Like I never went to school for business or anything. This is all brand new to me. Like I learn
Yeah.
and screw up as I go, and I just have had very understanding people, uh, and customers that have just been fantastic, and it's just been incredible. But yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. Anybody can do
And you're
this. Like have a like. I think the key to business, man, is like have integrity and character and show people you care. Like I don't know, we live in a world where like everybody's so self-centered and like I don't know. You can ask a ton of my customers. Like sometimes I'll just throw in a spider in somebody's box because knowing I know it's going to make a smile on their day. Did it cost me that $10 that I had to pay for that spider? Yeah, but realistically, dude, that smile, I'm going to get a text that's like, hey, you messed up my orders. I have received these. You messed up my order. There's a extra one in here. Yeah, there is. I hope it made your day. Like I knew you wanted that. So I don't know.
yeah.
Sometimes you could just got to take care of people, and people appreciate being cared about. And I genuinely care.
Yeah, that's very cool. Like you just recently launched your website, so I know that you know the pain now of setting up a website. Like that's one of those most simple things that a business like I needed a website for the Tarantula Collective, and I was like, this isn't going to be an issue. well, it's a website. How hard could it be? Those things, even when you use a pre-made template, there's still a lot of work goes in setting up a website and a lot of expense. So you got a lot of time, a lot of costs. Like it can be very time consuming, and I think that a lot of people um, forget about that. They think it's like it's very easy for them to view it and go through it. They don't think about every picture, every line of text, every link. That's all very meticulously designed and put in there, and just that whole user experience is it takes a lot of time and effort to do, and that all that costs money, and all that as far as a business is concerned is overhead that has to be included in the price for tarantulas or t-shirts or whatever it is you're selling.
There's a lot of paperwork to importing. I don't think people really realize too. A lot of like headache, hassle with here and there because usually it's coming from a broker, and it's not that one broker doesn't have what you're looking for. So you have to go around to all these different breeders over in whatever area you're importing from, and have all these spiders shipped to one location so that this broker can export it for you, and then you
All
import
right,
it.
let's hold up. Let's stop right there. So there's somebody out there whose job they're just a tarantula broker, like a stock broker or something like that. Like they
Yeah, it's a
just
tarantula broker. Actually, yeah, he's a great guy. A lot of people know him. I don't want to give his name out there just because I don't.
they don't put them on blast.
Okay,
But
yeah, because I don't know if he wants
that's
his business out there like that or not. But yeah, he's in Germany and he's a great dude. A lot of people who deal with like the Europeans and stuff know him. He has a great reputation. But yeah, no, he has a full time job, but his other part time job is basically a tarantula broker. I would call it ish. But he's the guy who I would go through to get my. I use a broker too typically, so I like to use a broker that's actually in Canada. So what I do is have because he imports for other people's stuff too, like reptiles and whatnot from the UK. So I usually just hop on his import and have him broker it in from my broker. So and then at that point it would cross from
yeah.
Canada and he would drive it across and go through customs like by a car. And then when he goes through customs, that's when they distribute it out to New York and then they post it. Because when you export, if you don't have a broker, it ends up in a hub, or even if you do sometimes, it ends up in a port, and you have to pick up your import from a port. And I don't do that. I don't have access to. I'm in the middle of the country. I would have to travel 9 hours to. Well, Chicago's the closest port. But yeah, it's just not worth it. It's easier just to have somebody. Literally, it's easier to have a broker do it all for you. Basically, pay somebody else to do it. That's another overhead right there.
But I think that's an aspect of dealing that a lot of us don't know about. I mean, just the whole process of finding people that have the species outside of the country, getting all of those species into one location for a broker. And then when you're doing that, we're talking like a lot of money. I mean, these are thousands, tens of thousands of dollars that is changing hands internationally. So now you got exchange rates, you've got bank fees. You more than likely, when we're talking about that much money and stuff like that, then there's also insurance and lawyers. You know what I mean? Like a lot is coming into play here. And then there's always the risk that it'll get confiscated or they'll die or, there's a lot of other overhead risk. Then you get that import in and then you have to unpack them, rehouse them, feed them, photograph them, list them for sale, promote them, then sell them, and then repack them again, ship them off to an individual like that. That's a lot of work for one, like just for anybody to do. Like, so what I'm asking you is, what happened to you as a child? Why did you bring this on yourself?